Good morning. We have with us Dr. Picheswar Gadde, the Honorable Chancellor of Lingayas Vidyapeeth. He has been running Lingayas Vidyapeeth for a very long time now. He has more than 2 decades of experience in the higher education sector. He is a well-known name in the education sector, both in the private sector and in the government sector. So welcome, Dr. Picheswar Gadde, to our podcast.
Thank you very much.
Can we discuss how education is a backbone for the young generation?
First of all, would like to tell one thing very clear.
Yeah.
In India, if you see, the Kerala is the only state where you can say 100% literacy.
Correct.
And education really matters something which is very important for any upbringing of any child to young generation and to make their career.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a backbone for young people, because if it is not question of only earning my bread and butter, it's question of how I behave, what is my attitude, what is my ethics, what is my body language, which is very important. A small example, if you go to any country like Europe and everything, you'll find the people are very decently. If you're passing by, they go one side to give you a way. They will say good morning, whether they know you or not. It is not that it has come overnight.
Okay.
Because their generation are all educated, slowly they inculcated the same thing to their children, and that is how they developed such a. So, for a country, not only academic skills, education skills, apart from that, attitude, social responsibility, if you take out all nutshell, this all comes through education only, and that will push any person to get success on that.
So does Lingayas Vidyapeeth follow this kind of a holistic system of education?
Lingayas Vidyapeeth, we are very clear about for the last 26 years. We are very confidently depend on one thing. Every child, every has some creativity in one or the other line. And obviously passion, first particular thing. No doubt for a sake of career, by listening for the parents and all, they choose a career and they try to go for education. That is why what we do is that we have in Lingayas Vidyapeeth, we give a holistic development, a maximum or first step to the student. Presuming if I am I am very knowledgeable. But if I am not able to express myself,
Correct.
if my confidence is not there is no point. This is what is required. Tomorrow, like industry, everywhere it is a cutthroat competition. Holistic development is the part where we really teach them how to face the challenges, how to take out your creativity inside out of you,
Correct.
and most important, confidence. Lingayas, 40% of the thing they pressurize students, they really give them a passion, they as per their liking, push them to really actively participate in all these things. And I'm very happy that I think if I say not more than at least 10% of the students in last 26 years has maybe studied engineering but chosen to be RJ, they are studying engineering to be a model and maybe a good dancer and maybe good musicians. So nowadays there is a lot of avenues, and these things are very important that they can change the career. But with the plus point is a basic education is one which they require. That is how we emphasize on holistic as well as confidence building for the students.
Excellent. That's a very good approach. And my next question is about the rapid change of pace in today's world. We're living in a rapidly changing world. So how should we tweak our education policy to respond to this rapid pace of change?
Positively thought process, and after you see Washington Accord also, the government of India, they have come out with a new education policy. Yes, the new education policy is also designed according to that only, that how the rapid change in the world is going on, the same to be implemented in India also. For example, in education, like if I'm a very good student, right? But after 1 year I cannot afford, or I am not interested to study further. I'm not, new education policy, I can opt out with a certificate.
Yes. Yes.
I can do the job and all. Plus point is that after 3 years, 4 years, I want to come again continue. Then I will continue from the second year, not from the first year. So this is the one thing which is really competing with the industry. Education in India is very also competing with the world, because if you see the world, India is the only country which has a maximum startup people have come up with the ideas.
Correct.
So one is advantage of population, second of good brains, good
Yes.
young children. That whole thing comes with the exposure. Now a child has got a total exposure for everything, and which gives them a really ample space to take out their creativity from out of inside, to develop some product to them. You will be surprised. You take today UK. Recently, I was reading that they have come up with a policy where if you are a very outstanding creative, outstanding startup you want to bring, even they have gone to the extent they are going to give them a permanent residency for UK,
Excellent.
right? And Dubai, Abu Dhabi, these all people are funding you. Come and start from there. Reason is that let the product come from that country, and it's a very big benefit for the our children, especially Indian nations. So they get a benefit, and they get now ample opportunity to explore. They are competing in the global market, which is really helping them out.
Yes. So many of our Fortune, 500 or 10 companies are headed by people of Indian origin.
Or Indian origin.
Yeah.
Even not only that, if you see very frankly, I think if I remember correct, 16 to 17 countries where the prime minister and presidents are from India
Yes,
only,
absolutely.
born and brought up.
Yes.
So that means, as an Indian nation, we are really spreading out on a good note, on a good top level note, which of course maybe after 20 years or so, you'll be proud to say that everywhere it is totally led by our Indian citizens only.
Absolutely. So you spoke about the startup ecosystem. So does Lingayas Vidyapeeth also have an incubation cell? Do they also try to help people with their incubation ideas and their entrepreneurial ideas?
Uh, this way started, what happened is that during the COVID time, which was a very bad fortune for everyone, we realized that a lot of people are sitting at home and started some creative thinking, and they started developing small things. In 2019 itself, what we did is that we have really identified one particular block, and we just converted into incubation center.
Wow.
And in that incubation center, we have invited everyone, any Lingayas pass out student or anybody who wants to come with a startup.
Excellent.
We are totally supporting them with all infrastructure, whatever they require, there's funding and all, so that a person who doesn't have money should not be deprived of not doing something. So there Lingayas really helps them. And at Lingayas Vidyapeeth Faridabad, we give them a total opportunity, infrastructure, then wherever fund is required, equipment is required, so that once the product comes out, we can say very frankly, Lingayas is also proud of it.
Absolutely.
One, motivating the students to start up this thing. Two, a student who had children who don't have a much fund, we are totally supporting them. Third, if product comes and development all thing, if they does a good job, it's a part of Lingayas name and fame also.
Absolutely.
And end of the day, if something developed here comes, we'll be very happy that another feather is added in our Indian territory.
So that'll be part of Lingayas' gift to the nation.
Nation.
So wonderful. Let's also talk about morals and ethics and values, because the Indian system of education has always focused on morals and ethics and values from ancient times. So what role do educational institutions play in shaping the moral and ethical values of students, and how does Lingayas play its role in this endeavor?
In education system, I'll tell you very frankly, if you ask me, a child, how they develop, since from childhood, it depends upon how they improve, how they develop with their surroundings, with their ethics by the parents, with the neighbors. Chota sa example hai, when we talk about all this, still at Lingayas we try to bring back that conventional systems. Not I am saying that total conventional, no, but conventional ethics we wanted to inculcate in the students. I still remember, I normally, wherever I go, in fact, I think I was in Thailand 3 days back. And in immigration line, there was one person was always looking at me, and then he turned back and, "Are you Gadde, sir?" I said, "Yes," and he immediately touched my feet and he said, "Sir, I was your ex-student of this."
Okay.
This I am finding anywhere in the world I go, I get a student like that. It is not that key what we taught them. We made a atmosphere in such a way that it really automatically it inculcates in the student's mind. Yes, education is very important to learn the cultures. Small example, even if we take any literature subject or any subjects, the moment we talk about our ancient things, the moment we talk about our books, which is totally written by a very noble people,
Correct.
we try to really encourage them to read those all. If there's a chances, 50% students may just read it for the sake of it, 50% may at least absorb something.
Correct.
Lingayas, another thing which we do is that like we have a social activities we try to do. We adopted 9 villages of surroundings,
Wow.
and in that villages, student goes there, whether it is a adult education, whether it is a cleanliness, whether it is a woman's problem, whether it is a water problems or whatever it is, they try to really educate. It is not that under NSS program they are doing it. It is not that when the student goes 5 times, at least his heart converts at least 10% that for society I also have to do
Sure.
something. This is very important. I wish that every institute really try to push the students
Correct.
in this, which will be definitely going to be very helpful for the culture to be developed by the in the children. And best part is the more culture, the more ethics, ultimately a nation will grow. Then
Absolutely.
there's no
So I think Lingayas is very attuned and aligned to the growth of the nation. So I think because even if we look at the history of Lingayas, Lingaya Gadde, who was a freedom fighter, so
absolutely
you
freedom.
still have that vision and that mission
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
driving
Because
the country forward.
end of the day, we have to do something for the country.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that we have to do everything.
yeah,
What we feel is that even if any person who has got a little capacity also does a little thing for a country, that's good enough. That's a good contribution. If everybody thinks like that, then there is no end to it. We cannot beyond. We can reach a beyond any point where the other countries may not be able to think about it.
excellent, wonderful. Let's talk about practical life skills. So how can educational systems bridge the gap between academic learning, learning from books, learning in the classroom, and what now the NCRT and the United Nations focuses on life skills as well? So how can we bridge that gap?
See, now the students, children, young children, have ample opportunities. Everybody, I think, owns a smartphone.
Yeah,
Everybody has got a laptop, smartphones, and then there's social media. These all things really improve the children. There's a drawbacks also in that. Students have reduced to going to the to go to the libraries.
true.
Student has stopped not preparing for the exam much. Why? Presuming if I have an examination, I'll use that digital mode. I look into some YouTube lectures and then I learn what is the topic and all. For the books also, they feel that online is much better. You know why to go this thing. I'm not blaming that this is wrong, but it's upcoming thing. We can't help it. But end of the day, reading books is also very important.
Absolutely.
As a elderly, we always say, "Are more of on TV or mobile you see, you get a radiation, you will get this thing, that thing." That is a later on, maybe it's a harmful also. Books, I feel that has to be really, they should go through books. But looking, everybody is don't have a time,
Correct.
and COVID has really taught them to have all shortcut methods.
Correct.
So everybody is looking for a shortcut, and this education system is really developing them. How now you are here? What next?
Correct.
That is how we are. Of course, I feel that if they are going through a small example, yesterday there was a conference, international conference was there, and the publication people, the faculty has published some article. I was very surprised that the moment publication has come, immediately, I think within this span of 12 hours, it has crossed a viewing of more than 9,000.
Wow.
So that, one, that means it is something interesting.
Yes.
Two, is something which is informative. Now, for this nowadays, the digital world and all made this all thing very easily.
Correct.
I can reach everywhere. My small message also I can communicate in the corner of in the world. Another small example. I see there is a one very good message which comes, say maybe news or message on a WhatsApp. I think after 2-3 hours, 4 hours, if we speak to somebody in America, they say, "Yaar, wo WhatsApp आया कैसा लगा? How was it?" So communication is so fast.
Correct.
So it multiplies like that, and that way, so I feel that knowledge also should also multiply.
Yes.
One, second, when you go through all this, it have a negative impact also, but positive impact also. The social media.
Correct.
As a teacher, as education institution, we have to really teach them. Look for a positive one. Try to ignore the negative one.
Yes.
If we are able to do as this, that means we are successful. We are given a right education to these people.
Wonderful. Are we becoming too dependent on technology? What is your view?
Yes, we are now. That's what exactly I said. Technology is really playing a very big role now.
Yeah.
Example, you talk about AI everywhere. Then AI. AI says that it has to be done, and every industry is taking AI. There may be less of job opportunities, less of
Correct.
this thing. Technology, yes, we are in small example. Even if we have to do something, immediately we look into a mobile example. If I have to go somewhere, well, let me see that what is the location, how far it is. This is technology. I am dependent. If in a way, if I talk, it's a useful also. Presuming if I have a meeting of 2 hours and I see how much time, accordingly I can make a program and start my journey.
Correct.
Same thing, technology has really playing a negative role also, because of the worst I have seen is, especially young children, they physically stop consuming their energies in any physical exercise.
Correct.
Earlier they used to play a football, basketball, and all this thing. Now they are confined to their mobiles and all. Yes, then it comes again technology. They are very happy. Whether you case a peer pressure, whatever you say, I'm going to gym. And gym also, which standard gyms I'm going. And they are very happy that much exercise is done. But when the sweating comes, when you play with 5-10 people, when you know each other, then when you know the competition between each another, that is missing. That is a negative part which technology is not able to. Technology has made a person alone. He or she, along with his technology, whether it's a mobile, laptop, or whatever it is. So I feel that social media also, you say, social media now, good morning, you say, if somebody sends you a wishes, you say thank you very much, congratulations. Earlier, Diwali is there, happy Diwali, that's all. Earlier we used to go to their houses, greet them and all. See, if you see our Indian tradition and all this thing, why these things were there? So that once in a while you can meet each other.
Correct.
Technology has playing that's a negative role. People have become lethargic to go there, and they have become so busy in their life. Okay, hello, hi, or they call up and all this thing. These are the disadvantages of technology also. If we are say advantages also and disadvantages also, you can't help it. Now, and when it comes, without technology you cannot survive, because the whole world is surviving on the technology.
Yes. Yes.
If you don't use that, if you don't compete that, then you will be the backbencher.
Absolutely.
So that is why I feel that technology is really playing, and we all are depending on technology nowadays.
Correct. And India is driving the world in technology. So if you look at the technology major companies, so again, most of them are headed by people of Indian origin.
Absolutely, technology ke saath mein, a small example again I'll tell you. You know what happens is that when we used to go to our grandmother, she used to put a stone ke andar crush karke you make a nariyal chutney and all. The taste was beautiful.
Yeah.
Nowadays, put it in a mixie and squeeze it and finish it off. But the taste we are not able to.
True.
So the technology has a different relish we used to relish. Now, but the thing, the fast life is that oh, it's okay, it's nice, just finish it off. Maybe we are used to fast food and we are used to a lot of junk food sort of thing. That is. So everywhere technology is, yes, we all are dependent, day to day,
Yes.
everywhere dependent.
Yes. You spoke about the importance of sports. So, what does Lingayas Vidyapeeth do to promote sports on campus?
See, Lingayas Vidyapeeth has a football ground, it has a basketball, volleyball grounds, badminton courts, indoor badminton courts, a beautiful gym also, of course, I said, because there was a demand from the students. The best part is that we have a very good scholarship schemes for these students
Wow.
who are from the sports.
Excellent.
To the extent they go for a national. Recently, in one of our student has gone for a shooting and he won the Asian prize also.
Wow.
So
Excellent.
that way we motivate and we really push them. Most important is that even in fact, in spite of so much busy academic schedule, at least we give them 2 periods. Said please go and play. Please go. It again depends upon your peer pressures.
True.
If alone I will go for a play, no one will come. If I make a group of 10 people, then we will play. And while playing physically like this, really, I saw very clear about it. There is a competition spirit which starts in
Yes. Yes.
and which is very much important, which will definitely help them for their future career also.
Correct.
That is how they have to do it.
Because these skills are transferable. What you learn on the sports field, you will use it in the workplace. You'll use
Absolutely.
it
Everything
anywhere
is
in life.
correlated.
Yeah.
Everything is correlated.
Yeah. So if you talk about student competencies, do you think that, we should focus a little bit more on creativity and critical thinking than on rote learning in our educational system?
That is very important. I'll tell you. Like in Lingayas Vidyapeeth, what we do is that we have almost shifted 60% towards the skill and practical oriented,
Excellent.
and 40% is theoretical. It started from with my alumni. He came, the alumni said, "Sir, one thing is there. Whatever we read, he was an engineer, read in theoretical, I am not able to use in my whole career for the last 6 years." I said, "Why?" He says that, "Sir, the theory I have read,
Correct.
that cleared my basic fundamentals only. Today I have forgotten that basic fundamental, that also. But whatever practically I have done it and then further developed, because company sees that how much output is coming. But it's a practical.
Very true.
So practical approach is very important, which has to be given, which has to be done. And Lingayas is totally emphasizing on skill learning.
Very
With example, even in the management area, we just made a new schemes also, where 20% is only theoretical,
Wow.
80% is totally assigned based. It starts with how to make your biodata, how to make it. While making the biodata, our teachers teach, which they correlate with their topics of their academics.
Correct.
Like by biodata means, okay, fine. Why you want to make biodata? Then business ethics. Same which is required in the business ethics. Why you have to sell the product. These type of practical oriented. And then there is a group discussions which we keep it. And presentation, body language. See, what happens is that at the end of the day, any company or anybody, they look into your aptitude, no doubt.
Yes.
But attitude, it plays very important
Correct.
role. Confidence, it plays very important role. Company wants a team worker. And Lingayas prepares the team worker so that he can be adjusted and he can do as a team worker. Individually, no one can achieve the Mount Everest. Very clear about
Very
it.
true. Very true.
This is how we emphasize on this thing.
Excellent. So, how do you think parents and society as a whole can support the educational journey of children and youth?
See, very important is that there is a very big role, whether it is a teacher role or whether it's a parent's role. You also understand very clear about it. Your child is small, and if you say something, no, beta, do it like that. No, Papa, don't do like this. My teacher told me do it like that. So the children or a student, they take teacher as their mentor, as they were the parents. Whatever children they are doing it, they have to support them. Then parents will definitely help them for upbringing of their overall development. Example, if I really put a little discipline at home and create a interest to study and all, then only my children will go study there.
Very true.
So they also play a very important role. Most important is, I won't say that your parent has to really mug that keep children here. they have to be in touch with education system.
Correct.
What their children is doing, how they are doing. Parents think that oh, he's going to the school, colleges, leave it. Oh, teachers will look after it. No, I'll advise parents. You also have an equal importance role.
Yes.
Sometimes some nature we have to study the nature. Sometimes some children are notorious. No children is bad, notorious or something. But on the same time, if you counsel them, not only by teachers at home also, 99% cases a children really changes.
Excellent.
Like, really changes. Then we have a psychiatrist
Wow.
in the campus. Wherever there is a problem with the students or anything, we keep on regular routinely. We give the counseling them, counseling. To by surprise that there are lot many children who has a uncomfortable at home. Also, they discuss and they improve.
Very good.
How many, lot many have a problem in their class system or a friend system, they improve. It is a hand in gloves, very clear about it. Parents and teachers have to go together, otherwise
Correct.
we cannot shape the career of the child.
Excellent. So Lingayas partners with families, it partners with parents.
Yes, that is very, without that is
Very
not
nice.
possible.
Very good.
Well, that is why we always call Lingayas family.
Yeah.
Because when we have a orientation day also, we start with it. Parents are there, welcome to Lingayas family, now you are the part of family. And as a family, you can understand what we can do, because their motive is to get their child success.
Correct.
Our motive is let the child, student success.
Yeah.
So both the motives are same.
Correct.
So why not join in hand and do it? That is very important.
Very true. On this note, can you share a success story where education transformed a young person's life?
Education is very important. I still remember I read somewhere once the interview was there. Two students from Trinity appeared, that for Ford car, which is a interview. They went there interview के लिए. Both have equal marks. Both are sitting there. The whole day they waited for Ford sir to start the interview. But in the evening, when he came out from his room, he says, "Oh, acha, you are sitting. I forgot about. Let's go for a dinner. We'll discuss there." Both the children, he took the children to the restaurant. Then they ordered for a soup, and then they had it. The soup. After some time, they ordered meals and they had it. Then he says, "Sir, when can we have an interview and all?" So the interview is over. Food shop. It's a very famous this thing. He says, "How? Who is selected?" Then he said, "1 out of 1 he is selected." The other fellow got little bit. "Sir, why he? I am also at same college. I have the same premium." He says, "No." He'll tell you very frankly, when you are coming for a team leader program, the moment a person, you enter the room, this gentleman has really wished the security person also, and you just crossed him as if that you are a bigger. Attitude is a problem. Second, when you ordered for a soup, first he tasted the soup, then he put little pepper and salt. The moment soup is served, you immediately put presuming that salt will be less, pepper will be less, you put a pepper. When you're working in a company, when you're doing this, you have to be very careful that without testing, you cannot take a decision for it.
Yeah.
He was so humble. So this is what, both are the same institution, but education taught them.
Correct.
One has, he has built up, he has taken his attitude in such a way, so that he can be a team worker, other cannot be a team worker. So that is why I feel that academics is very important, but at the same time, attitude plays also same role. And he got selected for that.
Excellent. Wonderful story. I mean, very nice story. And if you could change one thing about the education system today, what would that one thing be?
Education system, I wanted to change. It's a very simple thing. See, first is that the world is changing very fast. I feel all education institutions should be very attentive to keep changing their syllabuses periodically.
Correct.
One. Second, most important, depend upon, I have want, if I wish, that more than 60% you should make a practical oriented,
Yes.
because practical only really makes your life well rather than theoretical. Third, using the digital word as much as possible. Digital doesn't mean only social media and you can mishap. No. Digital, you can utilize digital like anything. Most important in that is keep upgrading your knowledge.
Sure.
If I feel that in education system, there should be a surprise test where there is a common generally also how the technology is improved, how this is improved. So these technologies and all, you should be ready to read, adopt, and accept it.
Yes.
You have to bring that changes. That changes can be brought by only for them from the institutions.
Yes.
Once the changes are brought, these children tomorrow, if they go for any company job or anything, if they adopt very fast the new coming things, they will flourish like anything.
Yes.
This is how I feel that these changes are very important, which are to be done by the education system.
Excellent. We had a very enlightening discussion. My final question to you: what key skills, you spoke about knowledge, skills, and attitude, KSA. So, what key skills should the younger generation focus on to succeed in the future?
Younger generation, one is that, as I already told you, that one thing is that first is the confidence. Second, communication skills. I feel that even if you know less, but if you have a good communication skills and a confidence, you can win any war.
Correct.
This is what I really emphasize students, that they should have a good communication skills, they should have a one confidence level to do it, and third most important, as I said earlier, they should keep on upgrading their knowledge. Example, I'll give you a small cut in this. A woodcutter join a person and he says that, "Okay, I'll cut wood and per wood you will get this much money here."
Sure.
First day he went there and he cut the wood and he was able to cut 10 trees. The owner was very happy. Second day was also 10. Third day it become 8. Fourth day it become 6. So he got very upset. So then owner said, "Why you are reducing every day? You are a very good woodcutter and all." He says, "Sir, I don't know. I'm trying to do all this thing, but I'm not able to cut that much." Then he says, "My dear son, you are doing mistake. You are cutting the wood, but are you sharpening your axe or not?"
Correct.
He says, "No. Until unless you sharp your axe every day, then it won't be able to cut wood very fast." The same thing. You have to sharp your mind every day. If you sharp your mind, you will be the achiever everywhere. This is what I get.
Wonderful. So, your advice to young people is to sharpen their minds.
Very important. Every day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Gadde.
Thank you very
It was
much.
an enlightening discussion, and I'm sure all our young viewers would really benefit from our discussion.
Thank you very much. And I feel that at least young generation, they should really try this. And lastly, I'll say, try to do, I'm not saying much, but if small thing, if you can do every day, some small thing for a society, for others, it will be a great satisfaction for you. Thank you very much.